Welcome to Issues Uncovered. We all do it. That one task that's been sitting on your to-do list for days, maybe weeks or even months. You know it's important. You know it needs to get done. You've thought about it constantly, stressed over it, promised yourself you'd start tomorrow. And yet, you still avoid it. You find yourself cleaning your desk, watching videos, or scrolling endlessly through your phone. You might even convince yourself that you work better under pressure as the deadline looms. But what's really going on here? Procrastination is one of the most common and confusing human behaviors. And contrary to popular belief, it's not about being lazy or undisciplined. It's not a flaw in your character. It's not a time management issue. Procrastination is deeply rooted in psychology. It's about emotion. More specifically, it's about avoiding negative emotions. Think about it. When you sit down to do something difficult, something that feels overwhelming, boring, frustrating, or even scary, your brain doesn't just evaluate the task logically. It reacts emotionally. And when that emotional reaction is unpleasant, your brain shifts into protection mode. It seeks relief. So it steers you away from the task and towards something, anything that feels better right now. That's why you end up watching a movie instead of studying. That's why scrolling through TikTok suddenly feels urgent. Your brain is prioritizing short-term mood repair over long-term goals. In psychology, this is called task aversiveness. The more negative emotions a task triggers, the more likely we are to procrastinate. And those emotions vary from person to person. For some, it's fear of failure. For others, it's self-doubt, perfectionism, or plain old boredom. But the underlying mechanism is the same. Two systems in your brain are battling for control. On one side, you have the limbic system, responsible for emotions, stress responses, and instincts. On the other side, you have the prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain that plans, focuses, and reasons. When you procrastinate, your limbic system wins. It hijacks your rational brain, flooding you with discomfort and pushes you towards something that feels better right now. The short-term reward of avoiding the task provides momentary relief, and your brain learns that procrastination works. At least for now, but of course that relief doesn't last. Later you feel guilty. You criticize yourself. You promise to do better next time, and yet the cycle repeats. This isn't a moral failure, it's a feedback loop. The more you procrastinate, the more your brain associates certain tasks with stress and avoidance. Over time, you don't just delay doing the task, you develop anxiety around even thinking about it. The task becomes emotionally loaded. Just seeing it on your to-do list can trigger shame or dread. This psychological spiral becomes self-reinforcing. Guilt leads to more avoidance. Avoidance leads to more anxiety. Anxiety makes the task feel even worse. And you're back at square one. Interestingly, research shows that people who procrastinate the most are often highly capable, ambitious, and sensitive individuals. They care deeply about doing things well. In fact, one of the biggest drivers of procrastination is perfectionism. If you believe something must be perfect, starting becomes incredibly difficult. Because anything less than perfect feels like failure, and failure is painful, so the brain avoids starting altogether. The irony is that perfectionism, which masquerades as a strength, often leads to underperformance. Another factor is low self-esteem. If you don't believe in your ability to succeed, you're more likely to delay starting difficult tasks. You fear being exposed as inadequate. This is closely tied to impostor syndrome, where people doubt their achievements and feel like frauds. They procrastinate to delay facing their perceived incompetence. Others procrastinate due to fear of success. It sounds strange, but for some, success brings pressure, higher expectations, and the fear that they won't be able to replicate it. So they delay, not to avoid failure, but to avoid the responsibility that comes with succeeding. There's also the brain's tendency toward instant gratification. Human brains are wired to value short-term rewards over long-term benefits. This is known as temporal discounting. A reward today feels more valuable than a bigger reward later. So we choose to check Instagram now instead of studying for the exam that's next week. It's not rational. It's biological. And then there's the issue of task clarity. Vague tasks like start project or get healthier confuse the brain. Without a clear starting point, the brain defaults to inaction. So instead of taking the first step, we procrastinate. In many cases, procrastination becomes a coping mechanism, a way to soothe emotional discomfort, a way to regulate our mood. It works in the moment, but over time, it erodes our confidence, self-trust, and well-being. Chronic procrastination is linked to anxiety, depression, low self-worth, and even physical health problems. It's not just about getting things done, it's about how we relate to ourselves. So how do we beat it? The first step is to stop fighting procrastination with willpower alone. Willpower is a limited resource. You can't rely on motivation to show up when you need it most. What works is changing the way you relate to your tasks and your emotions. Start by identifying the emotion behind your procrastination. Ask yourself, what am I feeling right now? Is it fear, boredom, self-doubt? Naming the emotion takes away some of its power. It allows your rational brain to re-engage. This technique is known as affect labeling, and it's proven to reduce emotional intensity in the brain. Next, break tasks into smaller, bite-sized steps. The brain loves progress. Starting with a small, manageable action lowers the barrier to entry. Instead of write essay, try open Word document or write the first sentence. These micro-tasks activate the Zeigarnik effect, our mind's tendency to want to finish what it starts. You can also use the 5-minute rule. Tell yourself you only have to work for 5 minutes. That's it, no pressure. Most of the time, once you begin, you'll keep going. The hardest part is starting. Time blocking your day can also help. Assign each task a specific time slot on your calendar. This gives structure to your day and reduces the mental burden of deciding what to do next. Pair this with the Pomodoro Technique. Work for 25 minutes, rest for 5, to improve focus and prevent burnout. Your environment also plays a critical role. Design your surroundings for action. Remove distractions, use website blockers. Keep your workspace tidy. Make procrastination harder to do than the task itself. Another key strategy is practicing self-compassion. Studies show that people who are kind to themselves are more likely to overcome procrastination. Self-criticism increases anxiety, which fuels avoidance. But self-compassion creates a safe space for effort. Tell yourself, I don't have to be perfect. I just have to try. Reward progress, not perfection. Celebrate small wins. Did you write 100 words? That's a victory. Did you sit down and try even for 10 minutes? That counts. Positive reinforcement rewires your brain to associate effort with reward. Make your goals public. Tell a friend what you're working on. Share your deadline. Accountability increases follow-through. Even better, try body doubling, working alongside someone else, either virtually or in person. It's especially effective for people with ADHD. And finally, connect with your why. The deeper your connection to a task, the more motivated you'll be to push through discomfort. Ask yourself, why does this matter? What's at stake if I don't do it? Purpose fuels perseverance. Procrastination doesn't make you weak. It makes you human, but it's not an identity, it's a habit. And habits can change, not overnight, not perfectly, but gradually. Every time you take a small step toward a task you've been avoiding, you're reshaping your brain. You're reclaiming your agency. You're building trust with yourself. And that trust is what breaks the cycle. So next time you catch yourself reaching for your phone, instead of starting that assignment, pause. Breathe, ask yourself, what am I avoiding? What's the smallest step I can take right now? And take it, not because you feel like it, but because action is the antidote to anxiety. Thank you for watching Issues Uncovered. If this video resonated with you, we'd love to hear your thoughts. Have you struggled with procrastination? What has helped you? Let us know in the comments below. And if you found value in this content, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into the mind and the issues that shape our world. Until next time, keep uncovering.